We are live at South Point Bowling Plaza. This is the PBA Xtra Frame South Point Las Vegas Open Stepladder Finals. Coming up next are number 4 seed Bill O'Neill and number 5 seed Anthony Simonsen taking their final warm-up shots. Jeff Goodger along with Matt Freiberg and PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. And practice is over, gentlemen. We're ready to go.
Yeah, pretty exciting Stepladder Finals in store for our viewers and for us here at the beautiful South Point Bowling Plaza. This opening matchup features a two-hander with no thumb, a one-hander with a thumb. That's not to imply that Anthony Simonsen doesn't have thumbs. He just chooses not to use it in the bowling ball.
So it's a single game. Should any game end in a tie, so one more roll up to break that tie.
The higher seed Bill O'Neill will get choice of starting lane and finishing position. Matt, what do you look for early on here?
So we're ready for our opening.
I would look to see what Bill O'Neill has in store, what plan he's going to go with on a stronger ball or a little bit of a weaker ball, because we know what Simonsen's going to do. He's going to use urethane and be right of him. So I'll be interested to see if Bill O'Neill's going to use a stronger ball and try to stay on top of him.
Is Simonsen's strategy in using urethane going to affect Bill O'Neill in his line to the pocket?
Yes.
In an adverse way?
Hard to say. I would say not, because Bill O'Neill has definitely bowled enough years on tour, one-on-one matches, been in this position before, where he's bowled against guys that are intentionally trying to make it more difficult for him. So someone that is not intentionally trying to make it more difficult for him, just make it better for himself, I think Billy's going to see the move and not have too much of an issue. It's just going to be a carry contest, in my opinion. As you see a quick ring 10 right there.
Yeah, and a good opening comment by you. Simonsen carries the light hit. O'Neill, there's a great look at the down and in line of Bill O'Neill. That was a vicious ringing 10 pin.
Billy's actually right of Simonsen right now with a stronger ball.
Well, then that would mean that everything that Simonsen does only creates hold for Bill O'Neill, because urethane balls carry oil down the lane, reactive balls absorb oil off the lane. O'Neill, a major championship winner out on the tour, United States Open champ. Simonsen, a winner twice this year. Uh-oh, not what you want to see. Players get practice prior to the start of finals, and in a one-game match, you have to make a decision, stick with it with conviction. Right now, I guarantee you Bill O'Neill has to be questioning the ball of choice and the line based on the last two ringing 10s.
Yeah, ring 10 start for Billy, and a light swisher mixer for Anthony Simonsen, and Simonsen's using a much weaker ball. It looks like Billy's ball is so strong it's actually might be burning up a little too much for those ring 10s, but there's still a lot of power going through those pins.
I mean, normally when the ball burns up, you would think flat 10. I mean, that ball just looks super aggressive, and it looks like it's going through the pin super hard. Bucket. Interesting. So now if you're Bill O'Neill, you've got to be asking yourself or saying to yourself, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to give this ball another 2 frames. I'm going to look at it for a couple more shots. But I promise you, another ring 10, he's got to make a change, and I think he will.
And do you think that patience comes from the fact that Simonsen doesn't have the double working already?
Because he just went swisher, bucket. If he doubled and caught a 3-bagger early, Bill might think about changing balls right now. Our tournament leader, Jakob Butturff, averaged 252 for the 32 games. Jesper Svensson, 10 pins a game less at 242. Rack shredder. Now, let's see what happens here with Bill O'Neill.
Bill O'Neill, no ball change.
A good look at that urethane bowling ball shred in the rack. If I was throwing urethane, I promise you it wouldn't look like that going through the pins.
That ball's digging a lot.
Yeah, it's ultra aggressive. I think now Bill's got to start thinking about making a ball change. 2 ring 10s and then goes through the face. Players certainly never had any trouble getting to the pocket for the weekend.
And these aren't the only 2 players that got practice on this pair. There were a few minutes where the other guys were allowed to practice as well before they got on the pair.
Only one other right-hander, though, Tommy Jones. The other 2 are lefties.
Tommy does eat up some oil.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's not like there's 5 high-rev right-handers. Your high-rev right-hander right now is Tommy Jones, and Simonson's throwing urethane. He's staying with it. He's going to give it another go. If this ball goes high, I promise you he's going to make a change. All right. That ball is going to live to see another shot. I mean, it looks great going down the lane. Those ringing 10s, that's got to leave a question mark in the back of your head, in the back of your mind as a player, does it not?
It certainly does. The great shot ring 10, you know, 1 a game is one thing, but 2 in a row to start a match for a title is not the best thing you want to look at when you have to try and run the ladder.
A little high, but all 10 in the pit for Anthony Simonsen. The youngest player to ever win a major, winning the USBC Masters this year. He also won a doubles title with Connor Pickford. Both of his titles coming this season. So much talent on tap tonight for our viewers tuning into Xtra Frame. And you know the best part about it? It's free. Free. And free rhymes with me. I'll take 3. Look out.
And Anthony Simon did take his first re-rack of the match right before that frame.
Well, he just tripped a 9 for a 3-bagger, and that was huge. If he goes stone 9 there, O'Neill can get up and double and take the lead. Some Green Bay Packer fans filling in. Nothing better than having cheeseheads at a bowling tournament. You still think he should stay with that ball?
I certainly don't think he should.
Got to get out of that ball now to have any chance of winning this game. And we're only 5 frames through. O'Neill's got to make a change.
That ball's been digging and burning since shot 1.
Our great fans here from all over wearing their Green Bay Packer jerseys just informed me that the Packers lost.
Tommy Jones trying to stay loose.
Can't remember who Green Bay played today. Played Atlanta. Were they at home or at Lambeau? They were in Atlanta. Got beat by Matt Ryan and company. Staying with the ball. It's 4 10 pins in 6 frames, Matt.
Yeah, 2 ring-in 10s and 2 half 10s.
Got to go.
Got to go.
You know, a bowling ball that leaves 10 pins is kind of like garbage. It starts to stink after a while. Got to get rid of it. Got to get rid of it. Did I tell you the other night in league I left 11 10 pins in 3 games?
You did.
Well, I'm telling you again.
Thank you.
I'm still having nightmares over that. With every 10 pin, it was all I could do to not curse. From now on, I'm joining a no-tap league. Simonsen working on 3 in a row. Oh, my. And you could see by his follow-through, I tried to fan it and save it right. Through the nose, big 4. The big 4 only made once on television by
Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Walter Ray Williams Jr. And that record is still safe. So now what do you do if you're Bill O'Neill? Do you try to tweak the ball that's left 4 10 pins in 6 frames? Or do you make the jump to hyperspeed?
I think that you trust the move that you were going to make before you watch Simonsen Big 4. And I think that's the ball change and a little bit weaker of a ball.
Yeah, much better shot there, obviously, and you can tell just by his react. Straight up in between first and second arrow with just a pinch of head belly. Now, Bill O'Neill, what to do now, William? And that is a ball change. Is it not?
It is. And it's a pin down asymmetrical, so smooth on smooth. Oh.
Are you kidding me? Nothing worse than changing balls and going ring 10 again. This reminds me of me. Bill, I feel your pain. I promise you, he didn't do a whole lot of this during qualifying and match play. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. Nothing more frustrating than making the change, committing, executing, and then getting 9. He still only trails by 7. And look at him just doing the calculations in his brain right now. All right, well, we've only thrown it once. It left a ring in 10. Let's give it another shot. He's missed the pocket only once this game. That was in the 3rd frame. He's got 1 strike through 7 frames. Must be his lucky day. This coming from a guy who averaged 236 for the 2 days, the 32 games. He's got 2 strikes through 8. Talk about frustrating.
Bill is having a carry contest with himself.
That's priceless. And a nice rebound by Anthony Simonsen. Max score, Bill O'Neill, 225. Max score, Simonsen, 242.
Another re-rack for Simonsen, his 2nd and final.
All those years of keeping score at El Dorado Bowl, making 50 cents a head, and they all laughed at me. I know how to keep score. I love it when the fans are sitting right in front of us here at the Xtra Frame booth where they can hear the commentary. It's great. Simonsen. That puts him in the 220s. O'Neill now, to have any chance, has to strike out, put a little pressure on Simonsen. If he strikes out, he'll force Simonsen to get the first hit in the 10th frame. And great shot there by Sir William.
Looked like he may have inched a little bit left there and let that ball roll a little bit more.
Maybe.
Certainly moved his feet a little bit left.
The results were perfect. 2 more and then good count forces Simonsen to get the first hit on a lane that he big forward on just a couple of frames ago. He's fighting. He's fighting hard. He's missed the pocket once this game.
And remember, Billy did choose to have Simonsen finish on that right lane. It could be because Billy has a better look on the left lane than he does on the right, or Simonsen has a better look on the left lane than he does on the right. So forcing Simonsen to finish on his worst lane.
I'm following you.
We're going to find out.
Got to have it. Beautiful. What if he would have started with that ball? Could have been a whole different ball game. Now he needs 8 on the fill to force Simonsen to get the first hit. Well, actually 7. 7 on this shot. Gives him 222. If Simonsen gets 9 spare strike, he shoots 221. So 7 or better forces Simonsen to get the first hit. All right, that's enough. It's all up to young Anthony, the winner of 2 events, both coming this season. Youngest player to ever win a major when he won the USBC Masters. This kid's got so much moxie for such a young man.
When you think about all the players, all the Hall of Fame players that started bowling when they were teenagers, didn't get that major that young.
Heck, I couldn't get out of the rabbit squads when I was 19. Wow. Impressive. Very mature for his age, and it enables him to make and execute shots like he did right there. Keep it on the lane. Pretty good stuff there, guys. And a great tournament for Bill O'Neill. Anthony Simonsen will now move on to take Tommy Jones, one of the hottest players in the Stepladder finals, shooting .867 his last 3 to claim the number 3 seed. And great finish.
All right, folks, so we have our first match completed. Let's give Bill O'Neill a nice round of applause. He finished in 5th place in the tournament this weekend. Anthony now will advance up to bowl against Tommy Jones. Tommy will get his practice shots, make choice of starting lanes, then we will get ready for our next match.
And we are almost set here for match number 2. Welcome back to PBA Xtra Frame South Point Las Vegas Open. It is our stepladder finals. Match number 1. Do we have a final score for match number 1, guys?
All right, folks, we are ready for our next match. Let's get both polls.
242,
224?
242, 224.
I think so.
All right. Simonsen now takes on Tommy Jones. Tommy Jones hotter than Georgia asphalt coming into this match. And nice start by Anthony Simonsen. Will Tommy have the same carry issues as Bill O'Neill?
I don't think so. I think Tommy's going to use a little bit more speed and send the pins back into the pit a little bit more and have a little bit more pin action.
You see the way he puts his hand in the bowling ball. Very, very unusual. Thumb first, sideways, twists his hand into the ball, puts his fingers in. Uh-oh. You know, on Cheetah, when you get it right and it doesn't hook, that's a scary thing. If it doesn't get back from that spot, and then you move right and it checks early and goes through the face, you might as well pack it in. Look at him put his hand in the ball. That is just crazy. Seen it do it for years. Former Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Major Championship winner, 17-time titles, future Hall of Famer, and $10,000 richer, guys. $10,000 bonus for winning the Xtra Frame sweepstakes, if you will, outlasting E.J. Tackett and Ryan Simonelli. Guarantee you Tommy Jones, not a Green Bay Packer fan.
Say a little Scotch-Brite he's using in his thumb hole there.
Is it Scotch-Brite or screen? I couldn't see it.
It's probably screen.
He just kind of roughs up the inside of the hole. Some players will blow in the thumb hole to kind of create the same effect. Eek. That a high backswing. But you notice with our superstars out here on tour that their swing direction is a little out away from the body, so it can tuck underneath on the way down. You don't see players get the ball behind their back. You get the ball behind your back early in the backswing, you've got nowhere to go but around your body. These players get it straight back or a little to the out and then tuck it on the way down. And takes the hand to the inside part of the ball and creates that beautiful leveraged position.
Let's get another look at what you're talking about there.
Look at that. Look how much room he's got now. He's created some angles, the body being open. Now he can have that arm tuck underneath him. Remember the old saying, hey, you're dropping your shoulder? Take a look at Tommy Jones. Maybe you should try dropping your shoulder. Back in the 60s and 70s when you threw bowling balls that didn't hook, they taught you to not drop your shoulder so you wouldn't throw it to the right. Well, guess what? Now you better throw it to the right if you're right-handed. Are we going to have one of those shows where we lose all carry? We've had great carry all week long, or all weekend long, and now all of a sudden the carry stinks. And there's no lights. We have nothing to blame it on.
I know. What do you do now? You have to blame something.
I'll think of something, guys. Give me a minute.
Well, you have all 5 players practicing for several minutes before it starts. But as you mentioned, only 3 righties instead of often 4 or 5 righties. But then they're still carrying all day when everybody's bowling on every pair.
Right. There we go. We've got Kyle Troop up here in the booth. We've got Jesper Svensson up here in the booth. Time for another selfie with Randall and these wonderful guests we have. Look at this. How good is this pic? Why does my head look so large? That is a 10-gallon face if I've ever seen one. See what I mean, guys? Right, it doesn't get back. Up the lane, it goes through the face. And now I think you understand why Tommy Jones chose to finish on the left lane. One thing's for sure, guys, after this match, we will have one right-hander left. That was like a Dick Weber old style, old school, ripping the 5-pin. And a beautiful shot there by Anthony Simonsen. Now Tommy Jones can cut the deficit to 3 with 2 strikes here in the 5th and 6th. Problem is the right lane. Light once, high once, and now what? Matt Freiberg, what say you?
Usually when you have a little bit of over-under, especially if you're not going to change balls, you want to look for a little less ball motion. And usually you do that by adding a little bit of speed to close down the angle. But Tommy's so good at hooking it he makes that move, goes a little left, and tries to go around most of it.
Well, over-under to me is when you throw it to the right, it overhooks, and then when you get it left, it goes 60 feet. Tommy's got just the opposite of that. He got one to the right, it hung. He got one up the lane and went through the nose. And that one was like right in the middle, and it strikes. So I would think the move would be to move off of the shot that went high, try not to throw it all the way to the edge, or move left and get softer and make sure that if you do get it there, it gets back. And he's locked in on that lane, Matt. And that's why he chose to finish on the left lane. It's a 3-pin match, folks, halfway through. 5.5 frames. Simonsen working on a 3-bagger. Max score for Anthony, 280. Max score Tommy Jones, 267. Uh-oh. Didn't we talk about solid 9s for the 2-handers earlier today? Well, there's one for you.
Jesper Svensson awaits the winner, Simonsen and Jones, in the semifinal match.
Good for Tommy Jones, not so much for Anthony Simonsen. Tommy Jones now to take the lead, working on 3 in a row. Knew it as soon as he let go of it. If you replay that, Jeff, and look at his posture and his reaction, as soon as he let go of it, he knew it was going through the face. Watch this action right here. There it is. Shot didn't look all that bad, but he sure paid for it. Open frame in the 7th for TJ. Max score now 232. Anthony Simonsen can still shoot 248. There you go. Boy, he bowled so brilliantly the last 3 games. 300, 277, 290 to get to this point using what appears to be the same bowling ball, playing a very similar line. And, I mean, Tommy Jones was in fuego. And that one shot in the 7th frame, he'd sure like to have that one back.
Yes, sir. 35-foot Cheeto oil pattern. Fresher than they were this evening with the re-oil. And has a little bit less hold. Trying to hook it at the gutter. Simonsen not looking for too much motion out of his ball.
Well, if you're throwing urethane and looking for a lot of motion, you're probably in trouble.
100%.
If Anthony Simonsen does not strike on this ball, Tommy Jones can shut him out. Big shot there, sets up the 10th frame. No matter what Tommy Jones does now, Simonsen cannot be shut out.
That's about all you can ask for, right?
Well, that's doing your job. And he has now set himself up to once again perform in the 10th frame. But it's all up to Tommy Jones now to see whether or not he has to show up.
See what Tommy Jones does here. Not going to make a ball change.
I mean, I like him striking out on the left lane. It's this right lane that is the big question mark. My, oh my.
Tape coming off.
Simonsen with good count will move on and take on Jesper Svensson of Sweden. Two of the hottest players on the tour, the youngest players on the tour to capture majors, youngest player to win a Tournament of Champions, Jesper Svensson, youngest major championship winner ever, in Anthony Simonsen. And they're going to go head-to-head. Great week for TJ. He's bowled great all summer long and heading into the fall and into the League Championship and U.S. Open. Tommy's got to be feeling really good about what he's doing with his game. Player who knows how to win a U.S. Open. There's a funky carry there.
Yeah, that was insult to injury right there.
Right? That's like
shredding 5'10".
Getting kicked in the gut when you're down.
Jones does get the $10,000 we mentioned for the Xtra Frame Tour points leader for the season. It's not what he was trying to do here in this stepladder final, but it is a nice consolation he'll get after the tournament.
He was trying to double up.
Yes.
Oh, no, Tommy. Tommy. Great weekend for Tommy Jones, finishing fourth. And that $10,000 bonus that you alluded to, Jeff.
I believe we're going to have urethane versus urethane versus urethane.
We're going to have an all-urethane semi and final match. When was the last time that happened? Oh, wait, 1980.
Coming up next, semifinal match, Jesper Svensson versus Anthony Simonsen, live from Las Vegas.
Okay, folks, Anthony has advanced up to the next match, but let's hear it for our star Tommy Jones there. Had a great tournament, finished in 4th place. At this time, our tournament leader will get 4 practice shots, and then Jesper will come over and get his 4 shots before we start our semifinal match. Okay, folks, we are ready for our semifinal match. Anthony will start off. Let's give both players a nice round of applause. Good luck, brothers.
All right, we are back. It is the semifinal match between the two young guns, Jesper Svensson, Anthony Simonsen. Jesper makes Anthony start the match and make Anthony finish on the right lane. Wonder if that's strategy from what Jesper saw in the last match, or if Jesper just likes the left lane better. One thing is certain, they're both going to be using urethane.
I believe Simonsen has finished on the right lane every game so far.
He has. Great point by Matt Freiberg. What kind of ball reaction is Jesper going to have? What kind of pin carry? Ugh. Dirty. That is dirty. This kid's a rock star, man. He's got the tats going, the unorthodox two-handed lefty style, tall and lean. Probably has a really hard time getting a date.
Yeah, he's 21 and so are his tattoos.
That's difficult math for me to comprehend. Actually, doesn't he have more tattoos now than last time we saw him? Going up the arm a little farther?
Not sure. One of the things I don't do or practice is counting Jesper's tattoos. He didn't like that one off his hand, and as soon as he let go of it, comes in light, leaving just the 6-pin. Players adding texture to their equipment during practice, but once the match starts, they can no longer alter the surface. Jesper averaged 242 for the 32 games. That's pretty good.
Simonsen averaging 242 stepladder final tonight.
245.
245, okay.
Boom shakalaka. Double early. You know, when you're 19, you're not supposed to bowl this well on television. You're not supposed to win a major. It takes time to do that. Apparently, Anthony didn't get the memo. I mean, this guy's not old enough to rent a car.
Yeah, but he has 2 PBA Tour titles, both this year. If he could win this event, he would tie Jesper Svensson as the only 2 players with 3 this year.
Looked like he got around this one a hair. It goes high, trips the 4. And off to the races is Anthony Simonsen. Something you don't see very often. Well, 2 things, actually. Big foot sightings and Jesper Svensson leaving flat 7s. Look out. Okay.
We saw Jesper put some surface on those bowling balls. That might have quite a bit to do with why that half 7 came up so early in this game.
Well, I said at the start of this match, what is his carry going to be like? And we're seeing it.
Urethane balls are already designed to burn up and roll, and his is really, really smooth right now.
He used urethane all week, averaged 242 with it. Bill O'Neill struggled with pin carry. Tommy Jones struggled to hit the pocket on the right lane. Anthony Simonson's the only guy that's kind of looks like he has what he had for the weekend.
I think Anthony Simonsen staying aggressive and looking for very little motion, even though he's throwing bowling balls that don't make much motion. He's looking for a more direct line of the pocket, staying aggressive through the front part of the lane. Even Jesper's looking for a little bit of hook right now, asking for his ball to come back up that hill. The result for Svensson, a couple of half tens. Simonsen much more flush through the pocket.
Look at that. He's comfy, he's got carry, and he's got 5 in a row.
Much better shot from Svensson, not looking to throw too far left. That was much more up the lane with some speed, going a little bit more direct, and it was heavy ball through the pins right there.
He got out of that one.
A little bit more speed from Jesper, staying a little bit more aggressive.
This is a great shot. Look at the 4 go to the sidewall and cave the 7 in.
Just absolutely snapped the 7-pin out.
Looked like just a little bit better hand at the bottom, and ball reads the lane and gets back to the hole. Simonsen now. Nothing Jesper can do about this except sit there and watch and hope for an opening. Hello. Hello, messenger. That was just filthy. Open up a 6-pack for Anthony Simonsen. Here we go. That's good stuff. Any kind of bonus for a 300 game, Jeff? Or you want to just take up a collection?
I certainly don't want to be in charge of that. I might donate.
Not sure if there's a...
I don't know if
I know there's a television bonus, but I'm not sure about extra frame bonus. That would be your expertise.
Well, Almost certainly the answer is no.
Okay. Well, Simonsen, front 7. 242 in his opening match against Bill O'Neill's 224, then 248 to Tommy Jones's 191. Now the front 7, Jesper Svensson. He needs to get on that strike train and ride it to the end of this game. He can still strike out for a possible 258. Beautiful. Two-handers, one left-handed, one right-handed, going at it with urethane bowling balls. Two of our youngest, brightest stars on the PBA Tour. Battle Royale. Jesper Svensson, his mindset right now, he must strike out to have any chance. Simonsen's already in the 250s. Came up and out of that one a little quick, but the end results are perfect. Just what he's looking for. Now the question is, will Simonsen give him any breathing room? Or is he going to be all over him like a bulldog on a pork chop? Once you've got your foot on the accelerator, just remember the words of Ricky Bobby. I want to go fast. I want to go fast. Okay, well, there's the right lane. Little speed sensitive, I think, as well. That looked like it may have been just a hair quick.
Yeah, it looked like he got that a hair right as well.
But isn't it supposed to hook from there? Cheetah. Or is it just the right lane that doesn't hook from there?
I think it could be the right lane that doesn't hook from there.
See that friction?
Much quicker it got to the right.
Yeah, well, he was right on top of it that time. I mean, right on top of it. But you know what? You know what else that's going to do is that's going to put some, I don't want to say doubt, but it's going to make him think about it a little bit when he steps up in the 10th frame on that lane.
Yeah, if he feels like he threw a great shot there, then there's definitely doubt.
Big shot coming up here. Yeah, he liked that one as soon as he left his hand. Jesper Svensson now has to strike out to put pressure on and to have any chance. If he strikes out and Anthony Simonsen goes 9-9, we have a tie. He doesn't strike here, the match is over. Simonsen will move on to bowl for the title. I got a great cast of characters standing over here to my right. We've got Kyle Troop, Stu Williams, Osku Palermo, Chris Acaro, some other guy that can't remember his name. Great shot there by Jesper, giving himself a chance setting up the 10th frame. All right, the other guy's Dom Barrett. I had to give him a hard time. On the other side of Osku is Martin Larson. Stu Williams showing me pictures of his beautiful baby and wife, Brady and Tina, or as Stu likes to call her, Teener. Not sure why Stu thinks there's an R in the end of her name, but All right, here we go. 10th frame, Jesper Svensson, possible 258. Got to have them all to have any chance. Boom goes the dynamite.
That was a great shot by Jesper when he needed it. Didn't pop up out of that one nearly as much as the shot prior on that lane. But he's trying to stay aggressive, his hand staying under it a little bit longer, so he's able to get away with it. Earlier in the game, he was looking for that ball to hook a little bit too much in half sevens and getting away from that. Looking to keep the ball much straighter through the front part of the lane.
Love to see this strike here and make it interesting. Nothing better than a match coming down to the 10th frame. Players getting up and performing, doing what they're paid to do. You don't think these players have in the back of their minds maybe a little award at the end of the season? Starts with a P, ends in a Y, O in the middle. Player of the year.
Svensson looking for title number 4. 3 already this season. 6 career title if you were to win this. He has 5 career, 3 this season. Simonsen could get his 3rd by winning this tournament.
Youngest player ever to 5 titles. Big shot here, though. He's got to have all 10 for the count. Well, if you can't hear his European buddies in the background, that's Stu Williams and the gang rooting for Jesper. And a great finish running the last 2, 4, 6, 8 strikes to close out with 258. Now, Simonsen, strike first ball, he moves to the title match. 9, any spare in a strike, he moves to the title match. Remember, this lane, he big Ford on it once upon a time, did he not? A couple matches ago?
He did against Billy.
Just caved in the big 4 there for a win, eliminating Jesper Svensson. What a huge break. Take a look at this pin action, folks. I mean, that could have been 6. My, oh my, what a huge break. Player of the Year race just got a little tighter. Unreal. What a great break for Anthony Simonsen. It's a 3rd place finish for Jesper.
Coming up next, our championship match, Jakob Butturff, who ran away with qualifying and match play, take on Anthony Simonsen, who has won all 3 of his matches on the stepladder tonight.
Okay, boys, so we have our semifinal.
That's next, and it's live.
Jesper, what a great tournament, 258 only to lose. Let's give him a big round of applause, huh? At this time, Anthony will sit around while Jacob gets 6 practice shots, and we'll get ready for our championship match. Folks, once this match is over, our Deputy Commissioner and National Tour Director, Kurt Von Kruger, will take the microphone and he will make presentations to our champion in this year's event with a beautiful check and trophy. Well, Anthony's got it like this. Everybody's let him start on that left-hand lane. He's starting again. He's gone all the way through the field. He will start the match off again. And again, one game for a national title and $10,000.
Here we go, boys. Fans. Spectators.
All right, we got the arrows up there the right way.
It's the title match of the PBA Xtra Frame South Point Las Vegas Open here at the beautiful South Point Bowling Plaza. Jakob Butturff, Anthony Simonsen. Simonsen climbing the ladder has finished every match on the right lane. Simonsen just absolutely brilliant. 248, 242, 267. But this man right here, Jakob Butturff, absolutely dominated this event, leading by 360 pins, averaging 252 for 32 games.
Yeah, it took him 2 or 3 games to get into the lead, and then he never left and just kept building it the entire event.
Guys, I take that back. He actually led by 450 pins. I was looking at standings after 31 games, 32 games. He was plus 2104. Jesper Svensson in second by, his total was 1656. Jakob losing only 2 of the 16 matches. Anthony Simonsen, he's going to have his hands full. Jakob off to a great start. And there's the right lane.
Get another look at that without a head in the way. With a different head in the way.
Hang to the right, hook to the left. Right lane got real goofy. He has somehow been able to manage the right lane. Games of 242, 248, 267.
Great cover.
But this young man, Jakob Butturff, his opponent, well, he's been relentless.
Yeah, Randy, he bowled 160 frames this tournament. How many open frames did he have?
Well, I know that the last 16 games of match play, he had 0 open frames.
Yes, today, 16 games.
Today, yes.
160 clean. That's really impressive.
Oh, my. And just like that, folks, writing's on the wall, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, that ball slowed down just a little bit more and missed the 9-pin. That ball hooked a little bit more than he was expecting it to, for sure.
Tried.
He certainly had to go for it, you would think, right, Randy? Gotta try to make
Absolutely.
that spare. Looks like it's conventional.
This Jakob Butturff, he strikes more than airline pilots. I mean, that's all this kid has done for 2 days is just throw him a high flush like that. You know, and the amazing thing about it is he's so unassuming going to the foul line. You would never think much of this guy. Not real imposing, not real impressive style-wise. You know, he's not like it's not like you're watching Belmonte or a Jesper Svensson, you know, or Tommy John. But you know what? All you got to do is add him up at the end of the game. Hello? One tour title, 8 regional titles all this year. He's been on such a sick run in the regionals, in both the West and Northwest regionals. I mean, the kid is just a monster.
Great shot.
Right now, Simonson's got to kind of feel like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. I mean, he's already behind the 8 ball. He only has 2 strikes and an open frame there in the third, and it looks like Jacob's never going to miss.
Yeah, like you said, he's an unassuming character up there. He's like an actual zebra.
You know,
unassuming but very cruel.
I mean, not that Simonson's giving up. He would never, but it's hard not to feel like you're already defeated after 4 frames. You know what I mean? I mean, he's going to keep grinding away and see what happens. But I don't see how Jakob Butturff does anything but what he's doing. I mean, I'm going to say that he bowls at least 250.
I will agree with you there, Randy, for sure. I think no matter what Simonsen does, it's all in Jacob's hands.
Oh! That was dirty. Pretty good shot.
Take a look at his delivery here.
I mean, it looks like somebody waddling to the foul line and then just kind of chucking it on the lane. And I don't mean any disrespect by that, but what he does at the bottom and the way his hand goes through the bowling ball and his accuracy, this kid can flat bowl. Is it the prettiest style I've ever seen? No, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's my job to tell it like it is. But I'll tell you what, the only thing that matters is the score at the end of the game. I mean, this kid can flat out outstrike anybody on this tour. And he proved it this week for 32 games. Very similar to a two-handed release. He rolls his wrist so far underneath the bowling ball. Look at how he can twist that wrist up underneath it. I mean, he's impressive, guys.
Yeah, for sure. With his thumb hole and finger holes being so close together like conventional, it makes it even easier for him to really get way under and inside that bowling ball.
Nothing short of impressive.
He is double jointed in that wrist, which also helps.
And you know this because you have a medical background, or did he tell you this?
I learned this last time he was bowling very well.
Thanks, Jeff.
Which also is my medical background.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I had to throw that out there. Simonsen on a double 10-pin. You know, and honestly, guys, you kind of root for, you know, and secretly, you root for the tournament leader when they've dominated an event by that many pins and needing another win to capture a title or win that tournament. It's hard not to root for that player.
I agree. For somebody to bowl that well for, let's call 320 frames, then for 10 frames to be the deciding factor, it seems to be a little, you know, maybe unfair.
Well,
but it is what it is.
It's the nature of our business, and I would never root against somebody. I think Anthony Simonsen is awesome. He's a great kid. But right now, it's all about Jakob Butturff and him closing the deal.
Jakob Butturff a few frames away from having one of the most impressive tournaments certainly I have ever seen, especially doing Xtra Frame. And he will be taking a re-rack here, so we're going to have a second before we get to more action.
I see 279 or I see 258 for Jakob Butturff. Max score for Anthony Simonsen, 235.
So you're saying there is no chance?
I just don't see how it's possible. I mean, I don't see Jakob having a meltdown. I don't see him making a poor shot. I see him just continuing to flush every shot. That puts him in the 240s. There you go, Anthony. Make him show up. You know, if it wasn't for that right lane, we would be talking a different match. And we saw it. We saw the right lane start to break loose. We saw when Tommy Jones would get the ball to the right on that right lane and it wouldn't hook. And then as soon as he squared up, it went through the nose. Well, the match is officially over. Jakob Butturff is your champion. Title, national title number 2. And what a summer it's been for him. I know that we're kind of into fall now, but pretty awesome last half of the year for Jakob, and well-deserved. Now finish it off strong, Jakob.
That's a clincher.
Title match, this young man steps up and does what he's been doing the entire weekend, and that's having a little 10-pin party in the pit. Impressive.
First time we saw any emotion out of him this whole match. And he waited till he was past shutting out Simonsen.
He'll be in the 270s. Yeah, what a great performance. Jakob Butturff, title number 2. 8 regionals this year, just amazing. 277.
And Randy Peterson going to go down to the lanes and interview our winner, Jakob Butturff. Matt Freiberg, you mentioned this is one of the most impressive tournaments you've seen by a player ever, especially on Xtra Frame.
Absolutely, 100%.
How did he do it?
He did it with bowling balls that don't have a whole lot of hook potential, and he's able to stay as aggressive as he possibly can at the bottom, and his ball wouldn't overread, and everybody else's bowling ball, even when they were throwing urethane, if they got a little soft or they got a little fast, the ball would overreact, either hook too much or hook too little, and Jakob just, he never saw that, and that is with that trick that he created. And it's not just impressive at how much he struck, it's impressive at how well he was able to keep his ball going down the same line every time.
There he is, Jakob Butturff, winner of the PBA Xtra Frame South Point Las Vegas Open. Randy Peterson will talk to him shortly.
All right, everybody, welcome back. How about a great round of applause for our champion, Jakob Butturff. Great stepladder finals. And for our check and trophy presentation, Jakob, we're going to call up Deputy Commissioner Kirk Von Kruger. Kirk?
Thanks, Randy. Wow, what a run. I mean, you annihilated everybody this week. An awesome win, you deserve it. I'm going to call up, come on up, Mr. Alejandro. He's the plaza supervisor here at South Point Bowling Plaza. First, I'd like to give you a little hardware, although it's a beautiful glass trophy. On behalf of South Point Bowling Plaza, the Professional Bowlers Association, and the great city of Las Vegas, congratulations on your win. And now for the money. I'll turn the microphone over to Mr. Lemos.
Hey, Jacob, good bowling today. Just want to present this $10,000 check here. Congratulations.
Brevity is the word of the day. Congratulations. Now it's my pleasure to reintroduce PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson.
Thank you, guys. So, you made it look easy. You averaged over 250 for 33 games. Was there any point in the tournament where you felt that you could actually win this?
You know, I bowled a couple of games in qualifying. I got my 300 game free in qualifying, and I just kind of wanted to bowl the good games because everybody was bowling great this weekend. I just had to make as good shots as they did.
Well, you won this title. You won a title earlier, 8 regional titles. It's been quite the run. What do you attribute all of this success to?
My family, my friends, my coach. Basically my mom too. She's been through a rough time. She just got diagnosed with cancer not that long ago, and I kind of wanted to give this to her because she's my everything. She's the one that takes care of me the most, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be out here.
Well, prayers and best wishes go out to your mom, from our family to yours. How about a big round of applause for your champion here in Las Vegas? Give it up for Jakob Butturff. Let's send it back to the Xtra Frame booth.